Hey folks, welcome back to another edition of American Classic Comics presents Turn the Page. I hope you guys enjoyed Andy's interview and Joe De La Garza's interview last week. And if you haven't had a chance, go back. Hope you guys will enjoy it. My next guest here, I've known for about 2 minutes. We just met this guy off the street, actually. I like this shirt, so I said, hey, dude, you gotta be in our video, man. Wow. No, Jack and I go back quite a few years, and I know him and his family, lovely wife, and great son. And Jack's the one that's, but you know, you'll find that out as the video goes. Make your own assumptions there. But anyway, Jack, it's good to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. And I like your shirt. Where did you get this shirt from? I mean,
Okay, my wife actually made this for me. Thank you, Dawn. Shameless plug. I tell it, she basically makes her own clothes, and when we go to places like Joann Fabrics, she tells me to pick out material, and that's her way of saying, get out of my face. And she made me this one. I picked the material, so if you don't like the material, that's David's fault. If you like the shirt, that's my wife's fault. I also wanted to point out, just for that I'm wearing Van Halen after last week.
R.I.P. Eddie Van Halen. Oh man.
1978, bought their debut album, and I was never the same again. The world is a quieter place without him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, what do you want to talk about?
Hey, well, I'll tell you what. I know that you're big into the comic books, you know, and you're part of our team. He's one of our owners, and I'm going to select a few guys here and there from our group, from our core group, and I want to let you guys get to know more about these individuals that are great individuals. You know, they didn't pay me to say that. I mean, I really mean that. You know, I really do. And I'm hoping that you get a chance to, through this video, get to know more about them, more about their background, and anything else they want to bring up, good or bad. Well, hopefully.
Okay.
Okay, but anyway,
So that takes
how
out
did you start? What made you go into the comic industry, the hobby?
Pornography. No.
Okay. This is the guy that's buying all the Vampirillas and.
See,
When you guys come looking for the tarot books, for the Vampirilla, this is the guy.
I was gonna say the statues.
He doesn't read them. He does. He loves the artwork. He doesn't read them.
I read the articles. Actually, I've been thinking about this since you invited me on. What was I going to talk about? And when in doubt, one of the things I always tell my students, if you're looking for a way to organize your speech, talk about the past, talk about the present, talk about the future. So, worked really well with you asking me how that went. I started, there's that sweet spot I'm always talking about. I got into comics around 1974, 75.
Bronze Age.
Yeah, and at the same time, because I was a voracious reader, that means nerd in Latin. I was also reading a lot of pocket books, novels, and so that's why I brought some of these, like The Spider. He's actually a pulp guy, but they redid him about this time. That's why he's in the cool turtleneck sweater. Another one of my all-time favorites, Doc Savage.
Man of Bronze.
Man of Bronze.
Ron Ely, wouldn't he?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he's on the back there. Played Tarzan.
How about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
And how much is this? $1.25. I don't think you could get 10 pages of this for $1.25 now.
A bottle of water. 7-Eleven.
Exactly. And then another one. I have very distinct memories of purchasing this. My sister-in-law, my oldest brother's wife, they lived in Kingsville, and they took me to the HEB there. And this was in the rack for pocketbooks, and I thought it looked pretty cool. It's the Phantom. He actually predates a lot of superheroes like Doc Savage and guys like this because they're pulp fiction. They were here before the comics.
Right. Is
Okay.
Billy Zane on the back cover? No?
No.
Okay. No.
And then, just to show you how things come back, they have reprinted them. Okay. And rather than have pages fall out of this one when I try to reread it, now I got this one. Okay.
You also notice that the print is much larger. Yeah. Whoa.
Whoa,
dude.
yeah, dude.
Okay.
How much is this one? This one is $14.99 from Hermes Press.
$1.25 to $14.
Yeah, I was going to say. Oh, and this one's 95 cents.
Wow.
Dude, that's a bit of a markup.
Yeah.
And then came comics.
Yeah.
Okay. And a great way I have found to pick up all those comics that my mom either threw out or I sold over the years are Marvel Masterworks. I almost recommend these more than the omnibuses, because the omnibuses will give you carpal tunnel syndrome if you try to hold them and read them.
Omnibus.
Exactly.
Omnibus.
Masterwork.
Yeah.
Okay. And this one is Amazing Spider-Man numbers 121 through 131.
The death of Gwen Stacy and the supposed death of Green Goblin.
Yeah.
We all know. That one, first appearance of Punisher.
Yeah. And then this one is 132 through 142. This was the exact moment that Marvel Comics came into my life, and I was never the same. Like you said, the Punisher, the Molten Man, Morbius, and then of course my all-time favorite villain, the Tarantula.
See, why is it that the Chicanos don't have any superheroes? We're villains. They have a guy, the Tarantula, with the classic mustache and the goatee, and he has pointy shoes.
Yeah.
Pointy shoes.
Yeah.
Like these Stacey Adams. Come on, man. Dude.
You know who they'd have got to play him?
What's that? Who's that?
Like in the MCU? Eddie Guerrero. He would have made,
Yeah. Okay. All right.
R.I.P. once again.
Yeah.
To somebody.
That's 280s. R.I.P.
And then, amongst some of my, you've mentioned it before on other,
I attempted to mention it.
and that is Mike Grell. He is one of my favorite writers. He started as an artist, okay, and so I've got a ton of his stuff. He is probably one of my favorite authors, actually artists. That I will buy his stuff just almost sight unseen.
Mm-hmm.
Something you didn't mention when it came out, when you were talking about the new comics, he was one of the first comics. He was part of that Vanguard Image, and so he had John Sable freelance, and really good stuff. If you can find it, pick it up.
They're really good stories. He's not lying. They're really good stuff, and it's not, nothing corny. It's good stuff. You pick it up, it's a lot of suspense and a lot of spy stuff.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
That's David and I have talked about this before. I really like those. I've always enjoyed the ground level heroes. They can have powers, but it's not like Superman where
Right.
they're super in all caps.
Yeah, I mean, some of my all-time favorites are Punisher, Moon Knight, Daredevil. Guys like that. Go ahead.
I should have brought the Miller run of Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
It rivals his Batman run.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff. The best DC storyline was The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
That's just awesome. That first one back in 85, 86, something like that. Oh man, just great stories. And then fast forward to Marvel with the Daredevil run. Man, it's getting better than that.
Oh,
Good
man.
stuff.
Good stuff. I'm trying to look here. Then I have a weakness before he got really weird with Chaykin.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, and once again, you can see he's very stylized. The 40s. Okay, so it's got that kind of pulp bent for me. Somewhere, unfortunately, in his, at least for me, unfortunately, I imagine there's some people that like it. He's gotten kind of weird story-wise over the years here recently. Okay. Adult HBO will show this only at night. Okay. Is what has happened. What else have I got here that I really wanted to? Ooh, without a doubt,
the best Marvel story ever.
This is, if you don't have it, shame on you. Go buy it. No, come here and buy it. Okay, this is amazing stuff.
Man,
between this, there was a period there in the 90s where I stopped collecting. You know, life happens,
right?
All that kind of stuff. Sold a lot of my collection and just stopped reading, collecting, and got married.
Life happened.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Happened all over you. And then we had our son, and I was trying to find something to connect with my son. And he really liked robots and monsters, and so I thought he's talking about his parents. No, I didn't think that. I decided on.
I don't know which is which. Don't want to know.
No, you don't. I thought about Star Wars, and started buying Star Wars, and eventually he moved on, as kids do.
Right.
And that's the initial way I got back into comics. And unfortunately, the only place that would let me in was your store. Back then, you had no.
You've got actually 4 minutes left. Go ahead.
And I started getting back into other types of comics. You know, back into the, as I call them, capes and tights. Okay. And for me, one of the major turning points was you and Aaron was at the store at the time.
Right, Aaron Salcedo.
Okay.
Shout out to Aaron.
And
he's asleep.
the ultimate line. Okay. You guys recommended it to me, and this line, this run, the Ultimates, the Fantastic Four, Spidey, Ultimate Spidey, really kind of reaffirmed, because when I had stopped reading, the X-Men had gotten, as you and I were talking about, Nathan, the foil covers, aluminum foil, tin foil, 3D, 4D,
all the gimmicky covers.
Yeah, XD, and I just gotten tired of it, and so you guys recommended this, and was actually pretty amazed when I saw the Avengers and a lot of the MCU, how so much of it is based on, to me, the Ultimate line. This is the first place where literally, is it Millar? He
tomato, no matter.
they literally based this Nick Fury on Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't very hard to get him to play the part.
Right.
Okay. That's how much this line and what they did with it to me. So if you like the MCU, I would recommend you come down to American Classic Comics. Come on down. And Nathan and David can hook you up. Good stuff. Just about any of them. And then, like most things, it got weird. And then,
yeah, Marvel has a way of, the aforementioned Old Man Logan. Great, just stand alone. Just leave the story alone. There's nothing you can do to improve on it. Leave it alone. It's freaking awesome. I read it, and reread it. I mean, no, they had to add more to it, and just Marvel's classic, but that's like,
Yeah.
oh, dude,
What was
no.
Dead Man Logan,
Yeah.
and then Old Man Hawkeye,
Oh boy.
Old Man Quill, Old Man David.
Yeah, older man Jack. Yeah, and it
even
goes on
older
and
man
on.
Jack. Wolfman Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah. They. Oh, wait. Miles Morales. This is where he got his start. Was in the
Of
Ultimate
course.
line.
Yeah.
And so, recommend it. What else have I got here? Oh, of course, Jake and Shadow.
Oh boy.
That's why I stopped.
Okay.
Goodness.
That's good. Hey,
Uh,
each his own.
And then, of course, liking the spy stuff and those kind of ground level heroes. Here is a one shot by Mike Grell, written and drawn from James Bond, okay, 007. And then another one who also is a favorite, is Khaleesi still alive?
Yes.
Well, good for him.
Hey, I'm sure he's glad to know that too. Yeah.
I'm sure he's relieved. He's another one that did a run, a couple of these kind of
Yes,
smaller.
he did. Love his artwork.
Yeah, love his artwork. Shang-Chi,
Chingao.
yeah.
Can't say that stuff.
Yeah. This is a children's show.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
you and me.
Yeah.
We're the children. He did a run on Master of Kung Fu that obviously he was trying to do Bruce Lee. I mean,
Of
that's
course.
what but it is great spy stuff. It is great.
Agreed.
And so when it comes to espionage and chopsaki and kung fu, Khaleesi, nobody compares to me. And so if you can find those runs of Master of Kung Fu, which I imagine with the movie eventually coming out here pretty soon,
Yeah,
someday.
it's good stuff. Now, Mike Zeck, one of my favorite
Oh,
artists,
yeah.
he great artwork on that. Jim Starlin actually started it.
Really?
Yeah, Marvel Special Edition #1, or I'm sorry, number 15, was introducing Ching Kong, that guy.
Gotcha.
And he actually wrote and he drew.
Wow.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
It is good stuff. Oh yeah, and Zeck. Speaking of Mike Zeck, he did the first. Didn't he do the first limited series for the Punisher?
Yes, he did.
Back then, it was
Initially 1 through 4, if you looked at the covers, and then they said, "Oh, we get it." We're sorry, we got to add one more part to it. So it became instead of 1 through 4, it became 1 through 5. But love the covers.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys look at Netflix and the Daredevil with the Punisher scene in there in the prison.
Oh yeah.
That was taken straight out of that limited series run. It was freaking awesome. I was geeking out like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Oh, that's page 4 and 5. Oh, yeah. So yeah, that was good stuff.
Yeah. That's as a matter of fact. Before you got here, Nathan and I were going through the till looking for money, and as we were doing that, we were shooting the breeze, and I was talking about with the MCU that with the first Avengers movie, how much there were 2 moments where my wife would tell you that I got all choked up. It was allergies.
Of course,
it was
yeah,
allergies.
it happens.
Hello.
Dark,
Yeah,
dusty theaters.
you know.
It happens all the time.
And one of them was when the helicarrier actually came out of the water. Because for me, I'd been reading comics for all these years, and to actually see what's probably going to be the closest I'm ever going to get to an actual helicarrier,
Yeah.
it was a pretty awesome moment. And then the other
Mine was when they introduced for the first time Black Widow and she was out there, and I'm like, holy cow, look at that. Love those moves. And my wife made a move of her own that I can still feel today. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then the other moment in the Avengers was when they finally all get them together and they circle them and they're all together.
That was awesome.
I got allergies then too.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you guys now don't realize how awesome it is that you guys get to see them. I don't want to say live, but the closest you're going to get.
Yeah.
Okay, to actually seeing live superheroes, and it's a pretty amazing deal.
Yeah.
For those of us that have just had to look at them.
Now let me ask you a question. You mentioned your son and your wife, you know, Taylor and Don. Do
Okay.
any of them read any books, or have you attempted to say, "Hey, honey, can you read this?" And you know.
Okay, it's funny you should mention that. There is a scene in. I was reading the book, the Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and in that, he hands a bunch of comics in the comic book. He hands a bunch of comics to one of the other guys in the team. He says, "What do I need to read these for?" And he says, "For source material." And as he's sitting there reading them, he's emphasizing the bold words.
Yeah.
Why is it that every word on this page, why do I have to read it like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Very early on, I tried to get my wife to read comics. She liked the Walking Dead show, so I got the comic for her. She wasn't halfway through the first issue, and she's going, "Do I have to read every like this?" And I was like, "See, look, the boys,
Yeah.
even comic writers are,
Yeah.
are questioning why the hell do they do that."
Yeah.
She likes The Walking Dead. She likes the movies, but the comics never really did anything for her. I know they were talking about coming out with how to read Marvel comics, and I keep threatening my wife that I'm going to buy her that.
It's the same. The winter solstice.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! How could I forget that?
Yeah.
We went to go see Thor.
Sorry, I brought it up, Don.
We went to go see Thor, and we're watching previews, and they were previewing The Winter Soldier. The scene where he throws the shield, Bucky catches it, and I went, "Bucky," and my wife went, "The Vampire Slayer?"
Yeah.
Okay. And then it wasn't much after that I said, "The Winter Soldier," and she went, "The Winter Solstice?"
Yeah. Okay. Here's some more books to read, honey.
Exactly.
More books to read.
I don't want to give her an omnibus. She'll want
No, you wouldn't be with us.
Put me in a coma.
Yeah. Is there any other type of hobbies other than the comic books? I mean, do you? I know you're somewhat of a sports guy. Do you collect any sports memorabilia? Do you? And I don't want to add to the collection. Don,
I was going to say, Don, just mute this part. Fast forward.
Yeah. I know you like, of course, like the Cowboys. You know.
Yeah.
Through thick or thick, you know, it's
if
Cowboys. Wearing his Roger Staubach jersey.
Yeah.
Throwback.
Yeah.
But I know that you're a big WWE fan.
Oh yeah, wrestling.
It's funny how a lot of our customers come in and they connect from WWE to comics. I don't know, but the connection is there. And every time something comes up, that looks like, oh yeah. I mean, Nathan, do me a favor, Nathan. Can you give me the new Detective Comics that came out for this week? And so here's the cover, okay? Here's the cover, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the cover. What did I tell you the cover looked like?
Oh, Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns doing the, so it's always a connection. We invent a connection, but anyway.
If there's not one there,
yeah,
we'll make one up.
Yeah. Exactly.
I've said it before. I think I said it in that initial video with the new crew. One of the things I like about this place is we can have conversations that start about comics, and the next thing you know, we're talking about the Cowboys, politics a little bit, and or video games or just whatever's that's one of the great things about this shop.
We're the only shop in town that does that, and we welcome it, and we start charging you after about 5-6 minutes. We start charging you for
exactly.
Yeah.
We start charging you for however many sentences you have.
Sentences that make sense, that we charge you extra.
That's why My comics are free.
Yeah.
My sentences never make sense.
Yeah.
I like video games. The Batman Arkham series was the first time I actually felt like an actual superhero in playing it. I'm not very good at them, I'll be honest with you. My son is much better at them than I am. But I still like playing them. I grew up in that generation where they first started with Pong and moved on up.
Yeah. You're that part of the Atari age?
Yeah, my son, man.
Yeah.
Brings back memories.
Oh man. Centipede, Space Invaders.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pac-Man. Waka 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 waka.
My son calls
I'm
me
sorry,
a boomer.
go ahead. Okay.
But I'm not. I'm a Gen Xer, which is 65 to whatever.
Not to be confused with the DXer.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, because we got 2 words for you.
Yeah. You said you wanted to do a little something for you have a special crew that's actually watching, that may be watching this.
Oh, yes. I have a part-time job when I'm not irritating my wife. I teach at the college level, and so my
It
students...
shocked me too. I'm like, what? Okay.
Okay, look, once again, just because you have a college degree or several of them doesn't make you smart. Okay, hello, proof positive. Anyway, if you are one of my students and you have taken me up on my offer, here's the question and the answer that I'm looking for. All right, I'm going to ask you about what do my wife and my son share besides their hatred of me. No, is that they share the same birthday. They were both born on June 28th. Now, not the same year.
Yeah.
That would be really kind of weird.
Wow, yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah.
That's kind of freaky.
Well, not for you, but maybe someone else. Yeah.
It
There's
fits.
a lot of weird stuff people
Yeah.
don't know about you, Jack.
Yeah.
We're going to keep it that way.
It's safer.
Yeah, oh.
But they were born on this, they share the same birthday, which is June 28th. And so, ask for that when the question comes.
There you go. Question's been said. So, before we leave, I want to thank you for showing up, because we couldn't find anybody else,
Yeah.
and you came in at the last moment, you know. And
I just walked in to get my
appreciate
books.
that. Yeah, we still charge him. But anyway, I value your friendship, buddy. Always have, always will.
Oh,
You have
thank
a
you.
great family, and hi Don, hi Taylor. You guys are awesome, and I love having you as part of the shop. Now a lot of the customers are starting to know more of you, and
They don't want to.
I haven't seen those customers again.
I was going to say,
actually.
Velma's never come back.
Yeah. So, but anyway, hey man, I
Yeah, dude.
love having you
it's
around,
fun.
buddy. It's great. It's great. And you guys, that's it for this show. I hope you liked it. We're ready to do some more coming soon. Everyone, please be safe. Take care of each other. Take care of your neighbors. Watch over the elderlies. You know, they need some help out there. Just take care of yourself and be blessed. And we'll see you soon. Peace.
Bye.